Chapter 6. 2 years ago, Sandeep was reading about new nanoparticle technology that was being used to paper over cracks in concrete, and a bulb went off. Growing up, he drove around his hometown of Jhansi where there were more potholes than road. The Public Works Department was the most corrupt and a much sought after ministry in the state government. The PWD, as it is ceremoniously known across India, oversees contracts worth billions of rupees given to thousands of entities in the several states of the country. Tenders are floated for the development works to be executed. These works could include anything from roads to bridges to houses. There are then bidders for these tenders. Tender forms filled by the bidders are duly submitted to the authorities before or on the due date. Usually, the lowest bidder, the one who promises to get the work done at the least cost, gets the contract. Of course, the bidder must satisfy various stringent conditions, including the ability to undertake the task and maintain the desired quality. But this is how it works on paper. The real world is different. Tenders are floated. A cabal of contractors get together and decide amongst themselves on who will bid what, so that one amongst them gets the job. There are also cases where the contractor is a front for a powerful politician or underworld don, and this is made known to the PWD officials who have to take a final call on the tenders received. Needless to add, there is no question of turning down that bid. The PWD officials are handsomely rewarded for their manipulation. With such underhand dealings, it is not surprising that the quality of construction suffers. But that again is an opportunity for the clique. The more the damage due to poor construction, the greater the chances of another tender being floated for repairs, and more chances to make easy money. Sandeep, with an engineering background, was upset with the state of affairs. What if cracks in the roads that so frequently occurred be repaired by a technology similar to what was being used to paper over cracks in concrete? It would be more durable and cheap, thus saving the public exchequer a great amount of money. Sandeep read all about rubber trees and the sap that flowed from them. He also read that rubber trees grew best indoors and the weather of Lonavala was ideally suited for this. His mind made up, he got to work. He had read that Israel had the most advanced nanoparticle technology other than the United States. A university on the west coast of the United States, University of California at Santa Cruz, had been doing some pioneering work in the field. Two of its professors were considered experts in nanoparticle technology. The trick was to understand what they did to fill the cracks in concrete and apply the same principles to tar-based roads. Sandeep spent hours reading up on their research, the material used, the underlying concepts, etc. He figured that if it worked on a hard material such as concrete, it would be easy to make it work with tar, the primary component used in laying roads. Now that he was back in Lonavala, Sandeep had company. He had earlier invited his friend from his engineering days, Abhay Rana, to join him. Rana had done his bachelor's in technology from IIT Delhi, one of the world's premier engineering institutions. He had then gone for higher studies abroad and returned with a PhD. Rana was employed with a multinational firm that specialized in road construction. Rana had been surprised when he received the call from Sandeep. It had been nearly 5 years since he had last heard from his friend. Of course, he had been following Sandeep's rise in the Hindi film industry and realized that he was a busy man. But he was oblivious about Sandeep's continuing engagement with engineering. He had first thought, on getting the call, that Sandeep was asking him over to catch up with the old days. After all, public figures are essentially lonely men and women, surrounded by yes men and those who sought to gain some advantage by their association. It would be difficult to find somebody who had no agenda. Rana was therefore surprised when Sandeep told him about some technical discussion that he wanted to have with him on road construction. Curiosity made him clear his desk and waste no time in meeting his old friend at Lonavala. It was a long weekend and his wife had gone to her native town with the kids. End of chapter 6.